Welcome, everyone. It is Sunday, October 23rd, 2022. We are in the Morgellons Call of the Week, and we are entering into our Q&A section of the call. So if we're going to hear questions and we're going to hear answers. And take it away, Richard.
Okay, welcome, everybody. The FDA requires me to inform everybody that before you start the King Diet or accept any of our recommendations, you discuss them thoroughly with your doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. The AMA requires us to tell you that we are not trained as physicians, so therefore we do not diagnose, treat, cure, or mitigate any disease. What we can do is educate you how to use the King Diet and the benefits of it. How to clean the organisms out of your skin, how to clean them out of your environment, and how to build health and immune functioning using targeted supplements. Okay, Chris, who do we have today who would like to ask some questions?
With gratitude, I was able to access a Victory Electrostatic Sprayer, and it was said that one should not use a water-soluble, water-based product. You should use, a water-based, water-soluble product with no oils. And I'm just wondering if the cleanup enzymes would be, appropriate to use with the Victory Sprayer.
Yes, they are.
So, because they said, it was said that it has to be water-soluble, water-based.
The answer to your question is yes, Anna. Okay, thank you.
And no oils, because the benefit that I have, it has the thyme oil, and they said you can't use that.
We don't actually recommend using it without washing the sprayer out. So if you're using an oil such as the Benefect, it's important to, after you finish it, to flush it with water so that oil is not on those seals on a continual basis. Yes.
And hot water, is that to flush it with hot water? Or?
You, Robin?
Yeah, you want to flush it with very hot water, and you also don't want to use a lot of essential oils. So the tank of it, if you want to use maybe an eighth of a cup of essential oil.
Okay, what about in terms of the enzyme, the cleanup enzyme? How much would you use of that?
If you go to where you bought it from us, you'll see a dilution chart that tells you how much to dilute for every application. So
I was gifted. Yeah, I was gifted it. I didn't buy it, so I'm kind of like.
Well, you're lucky. So go to the store, look up Clean 'em Up Enzymes, and you'll see the dilution table there.
Oh, okay. The other question I have is for the cleanup enzymes to use on one's scalp, how much would one put on one's scalp? How do you dilute the cleanup enzymes, to apply to the scalp? Because one of my major issues is around my neck. It's just weird. And
again, that chart is on the page where the enzyme is.
My standard is you start with a small amount, and if that doesn't work, you increase it. So with the enzymes or with the Nature's Gift, you start with whatever's recommended. If it isn't effective, then you make it a little stronger.
Okay.
So I never had a reaction to the enzymes, but with the Nature's Gift, it's really strong and it can burn, but like on lesions, I have used it straight and then put an essential oil like a carrier oil, like coconut oil on top, and it calms it, and Nature's Gift will heal lesions. It just hurts. So.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so very much. Always appreciative.
Thank you, Anna. Who's next, Chris?
Jeanette.
Hi, Jeanette.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good, how are you?
Well, thank you. Just this week I got a little bit concerned. As you all know, I'm doing extremely well, beyond my expectations, especially after the diet 2 weeks, everything gone as far as the itching and scratching and whatever. But so I want to do more. I want to be like I was 20 again, which is a little crazy, but that's okay. It matches me. this week I read someone's blog that said if you only use the prescribed amount of either protease or lumbricanase, the enzymes that would digest the proteins, anything we're taking, herb-wise, etc., would be used by the critters, so that we should up, he says he's well, totally, whatever, that we should up our enzymes 3 times the amount. Have you heard of anything like that? Because I was blown away by your enzymes. Nothing else worked before yours. So.
Yeah, again, in my protocols, I say ignore everything else you read. Okay? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, there is something that works for everybody. We don't know to what degree this person has been affected, how dramatic it has been. I mean, many people are barely affected, and just going to the grocery store and buying some calamine lotion is going to cure them. So we don't know. Just take everything you read. I mean, people read things like, well, pumpkin seed is anti-parasitic, so they go eat pumpkin seeds. Well, damn it, it's not on the diet. It's going to feed them. So what you read, just put it in the back of your mind. You can email me about it. I'll look into it, or I'll let you know about it, because I do learn from each and every one of you. You are my research team, but 99%. And even some people get excited. They find some article, and they read the article, and it says, wow, this is really a great discovery, and they send it to me. First thing I check is the date, November 8th, 2002. Okay, history. Okay, in the meantime, they get all excited about history. Well, that would have been in the first version of my book. All right, so please don't get excited about things that you read.
Okay, sounds like good advice, very balanced. Yeah. And by the way, Richard, did you get my email that I sent maybe now 2 weeks ago? Because I didn't receive an answer.
I don't remember. As Robin said beginning, if you send me an email and you don't hear back from me, assume that it got lost. I mean, AOL, that's my email service, it's crazy. Damn it.
Mine too.
A week ago, I wake up, I go on, I don't even recognize it. The fonts are different, everything is laid out different, and I'm saying, why the hell do you do this? You know, I'm 77 years old, I don't need, and it's no better, you know. Why do they need to do this crap? Just leave things alone. They do it with automobiles. I can't even find the emergency brake in my wife's new BMW. Jesus, leave things alone.
Okay.
Okay, so send me the email again.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Not that I'm against learning, but you don't have to learn to relearn things that you already knew that were working well.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, because I've been through the mill. I mean, I was, you know, the only thing I did not have were the lesions. I know people, I've seen them with their heads open in bloody lesions. I never had that, but I had everything else to the nth degree, like the itching and networking. I could see it all over my body. It was very scary. I had the white stuff falling off me like I was a snowman. So it's funny how our individual bodies, you know.
Take a minute and share with us where you started, how long ago, and where you are now with the program.
Well, maybe it's been 6 or 7 months. I was very skeptical because years back, maybe 7 years ago, I started the program with the diet, and I was cheating just a little bit, thinking, oh, this little tic-tac doesn't matter or something, you know. Right. And I got nowhere. So I gave up after a few weeks saying, okay, I guess this isn't for me. But it was always in the back of my head to try again. And this time when I found you again, you happened to have said, Richard, even the tic-tac would destroy the diet. And I wanted to listen this time, not be so hard-headed or anything else. Just let me listen and do it. And you kept saying you have to do it, you know, make it work. I didn't, quite frankly, I didn't relate to the words make it work. But I'm just being honest here. But I said, well, I'm going to make it work in my own way. To me, the words were do it. And I think we have to get our phraseology in place for ourselves on an individual basis. Whatever works for you is just great, you know. So I was making it work, according to you. I was so strict, I couldn't believe it. And after just a day or two, I said, oh, this is feeling pretty good. And then by the third day, there was no itching, and I was going crazy with the itching and everything else. And I kept to it, and I was afraid to get off of it. And I was losing weight terribly from 2 terrible bouts of COVID, about 5'8" and 103. That's not a good thing to see. And I was scared to death to do the diet, but of course it ended up the best thing. So I was afraid to get off of it, but I did get off of it minimally according to your book for phase 2. And I got a little bit of symptoms. I can't quite say an itch, but almost an itch. And I got scared. I don't want almost an itch. And you guys mentioned, well, did you eat too much of that rice or whatever it was? And I said, yeah, I probably pigged out on it because I want to maintain or gain weight. And I was advised by Robin, and you seconded it, Richard, just go slowly, have half a cup. And it was very, very difficult. But again, that old try, I'm going to do this. And I listened. That's the thing. We have to stop. I don't know. Is it the ego? I don't know what it is. But we have to stop ourselves and just listen to the guys that know. And you guys know. You've been there too. So it was great. I started to just eat more frequently, but less quantity, and that was the trick. And I've been on the diet ever since, adding things. So I'm pretty much able to eat almost anything. I can't think of too much that I don't eat, but because of the mast cell activation due to a virus I had, I'm even better with that now. So everything is improving, exponentially, and I'm just incredibly grateful. I don't know how you came across the diet or anything like that, but I do know, but it's just a miracle. I don't like usually using that word, a miracle, but this is a miracle. So I really want to encourage people, no matter where you're at, your symptoms, you have to do the diet, and the supplements are great. I really believe in the supplements, and I had mentioned before, even your Cistus tea, which I was taking from other stores, I didn't want to quite, waste them, but so I kept using them, and I said, no, let me buy whatever I can from the store. So it was your enzymes and the cleaner. And by the way, the newer cleaner really is helping the scalp. The other one didn't do anything for me, so that's really improving. But the Cistus tea was amazing. I think all your products are such high quality, and until you try them yourself, you're not going to know that. And I know finances are sometimes a big issue, but whatever you can do financial-wise to buy these products is well worth it, even if you have to use less of them or something, but the quality makes the difference. So, yeah, I'm really grateful.
Well, I thank you very much for sharing. That's very important. And I'm happy that you've progressed, and I'm happy that you've taken advantage of our free information and our free books and our free conference call and our coaching and everything, and also support our store, because that's what keeps us coming back and keeps me here, because I don't charge for the book, I don't charge for the diet, Robin doesn't charge for coaching, Ethel doesn't. We have all this information for free. And our products, as you said, I feel, and it's my job to make sure they're top of the line, and they are. So I want to thank you very, very much for sharing.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
This is Barbara.
Just a moment, Barbara. And Jeanette, I'm looking for coaches. So if you're willing or have time and would like to join our coaching staff, I would welcome you to do that. So it's not something I expect of you, but if it's something that you like, and like communicating with people and helping people along, as Robin and I and Ethel and everyone here do, please join us. Thank you.
That would be a blessing. I'd be honored to. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Great. So send me an email, and also remind me of the email I missed, because I don't know what happened to it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. Who's next?
I just want to add, in terms of when you're taking the tub bath, it's very important to drain the water out before you get out, because you're a higher energy, and things will go back into your body as you stand up and you try to get out of it before the water's all gone. And there was a case of a young baby that had high aluminum toxicity, And when they would put her in the bath with a special soap to help bring out the aluminum, the water would turn grayish. And when they lifted the baby out, the baby turned gray. So that's just how they understood that you have to get rid of the water before you take the baby out, so you don't bring that energy back into you. And once they did that, they would scoop out all the water and tip the water out, and then then remove the baby from the little tub. That they were succeeded.
Barbara, that's very interesting. I never thought that people would get out of the tub with water in it. I've always drained it. I never even thought that people would do otherwise, but that's amazing. And as far as, say, for instance, aluminum toxicity, just last week, a few days ago, I put out an update. I hope everybody read it, because aluminum is bad news, because it invites fluoride, which is even worse news. They combine and get into your brain and contribute to as many, I'm not claiming this, many studies have indicated that it doesn't help with Alzheimer's. It doesn't help with dementia. In fact, it may be a contributing cause to these issues. And I was amazed as I was looking. I did that update on aluminum thinking, oh, this is going to be a quick aluminum thing. We're going to just talk about underarm deodorants, using deodorant instead of antiperspirants, because antiperspirants all of them have aluminum in it, and deodorants generally don't, but I learned that there may be some that do. And gosh, if you're using that antiperspirant right there to your skin, it's not too far from your brain, right under your underarm. It gets absorbed into your body, God. And then using aluminum foil in the foods that you cook. I mean, look at all these people. We have these cookouts, these family gatherings, and what do you get? These big-ass aluminum trays that you put your casseroles in, and you do your turkey in and everything else. And look at all that aluminum getting into our bodies. I remember being a youngster, we had nothing but aluminum pots. Everything was aluminum at that point. So, aluminum, bad news. So, and another thing, in getting rid of toxicity from your body or your skin, we have nature's gift ionic minerals, okay? And we have MaxOne, and we have NAC. Now, MaxOne boosts glutathione in your body to an amazing level. It gets rid of toxicity, aluminum, nickel, cadmium, pesticides, all that stuff that's not supposed to be there. It's the body's major detoxifier. NAC, N-acetylcysteine, is another way of boosting glutathione. It's not as effective or as powerful, but it's an alternative, much less expensive. And if you take a bath and you take some of the Nature's Gift Ionic Coil Calcium and you put those sachets in the bath, either after you've used them, you can use them in your water as they're supposed to boost your minerals, and then instead of throwing the spent sachet away, put it in your bath water, and it just draws that stuff out of your skin, just draws it out. So thank you, Barbara. Thank you for reminding me, and I need to make that addition to the book, to drain the water from your bath before you get out. Thank you. Who's next, Chris?
And I really like the debriding soap, and so I'm waiting on the MaxOne. I did have one question about the cleanup zyme and one about the medication.
Sure.
Some reactions with my body. First of all, he said the enzyme safe for pets. Can you give a pet a bath in the enzymes? Because kittens and cats are allergic, or everything is toxic to them. So trying to give them like a lavender soap bath or anything like that is not okay.
Everything at most essential oils.
Yeah, you have to watch the essential oils, and and our Nature's Gift would not be toxic. You could use like a quarter cap of that in the bath water, a small tub for the cat or the dog. So okay.
Is that going to draw things off of them? and kill them without a disinfectant though? 'Cause I've used like apple cider vinegar with Dawn soap to give kittens a bath. And
Well, apple cider vinegar is the disinfectant of choice if we're dealing or suspecting fungal complications in the skin.
You can just rub diatomaceous earth into their fur.
Oh, true. Absolutely.
Sleeping.
Right.
Places.
Yeah.
just a small amount so they don't breathe it in or lick it.
Huh?
Just a small amount.
Need
so
to
they
be
don't breathe
inside
it in.
pets.
Yeah, he's in the garage, and I'm spraying the enzyme spray with the sprayer in the garage and in the house, and he only goes out for just a second.
Yeah, as long as your pets are going out, they're not going to get well.
1 second is like a tic-tac with the diet. You know, that 1 second may be exactly where he goes to get recontaminated and bring it right back in.
Okay.
Unless you're following the cat and seeing exactly where he goes and disinfecting it, and making sure that that's where he only goes when he goes outside, it's Russian roulette.
All right. Well, I was just thinking sunshine, but was good for the cat too. But I'll just adjust that. And then I talked to Nancy and I'm going to give him the nitrogen. I'm going to start giving him that. He takes Revolution already, but I'm going to start that with him as well.
Okay, was there another question?
Knitting part
yeah.
What's that?
Nitrogen. I don't pronounce it right.
Nitimperam?
Yes.
Yes, what about it?
Yes. Well, I just said I was going to give it to him, and I'm going to start taking it, and that leads me into the medicine question. I started a Parasite Stop. Took it for about 7 days, and things are coming out like crazy. And I was trying my best to, do the baths and rub it out and my oils. But then I added in the lufenuron, and I didn't realize, Chris, that I probably needed to stop taking the Parasite Stop because I got all of these hard nodules popping up around my body.
Your voice is fading in and out for some reason. That's not really clear.
Lufenuron and Parasite Stop are not the same.
Okay. So I should take one or the other.
No, you can take both.
Yeah, lufenuron is to inhibit the production of chitin and to also help break down or inhibit the production of chitin for fungal organisms and for mites and organisms whose mouth parts and shells are made of chitin. And it's for if you're living in a moldy environment. It's good to have and be taking lufenuron on a regular basis. The Parasite Stop formula is a collection of different herbs that are contribute to reducing dopamine uptake in the brain. And the purpose of this is to help and aid the diet, make the diet work. So, as Jeanette shared earlier, or I forget, Jeanette or Janine, Jeanette, I believe, she's making the diet work. Now, for some of us, it's easier than others. And there are a couple of things that we can do to help make the diet work, kick in faster. One, make sure you're on MaxOne, boosting glutathione. So
I ordered it.
Next to help make the diet work is the Parasite Stop formula. The parasites have the innate ability to create or cause your body to create an excess amount of dopamine. And then when there's excess dopamine, the dopamine receptors just automatically take more in, and that somehow contributes to more parasitic activity. They have their own internal system going on. So by using things to reduce dopamine uptake, and until 2 years ago, we had to rely on medications like Orap or Zyprexa or to reduce dopamine uptake until some, like Robin said earlier, each of you are my research team. And some lady, her name was Olga, and says, hey, have you looked into herbs? And that was about 2.5 years ago. And we started looking into herbs. And Barbara, our herbalist, collected all these herbs, did the research, and we put them together and called it the Parasite Stop formula and prayed. We hope that works. And it works. It helps.
Yeah, I like the noni that's in it. The noni.
So, and then the other thing that we just discovered, thanks to Mary, she's not part of my research team too, she introduced us to pheromones. I've always suspected that pheromones had something to do with this, but I really didn't know anything about them or know which ones to get or find or anything like that. And Mary pointed me to the place where we get them, and the pheromones also help make the diet work. None of this is a replacement for the King diet. These are all things to make it work quicker and faster and better.
Okay, well, I can start the Parasite Stop back, but because I've had all these nodules appearing, is that just because of the lufenuron causing die-off and then have to massage?
Well, that is hard. That is hard to say because, you know, each person, again, each of you are my research team. I learn from you guys. So one lady wrote me about a year ago, and she started lufenuron, and she gave me her experience. She said, I started lufenuron, and man, I broke out. I had like acne all over me. I mean, she didn't call or ask me or write me during this period of time. She just went through it. And for a whole month, she had this going on, and then boom, all cleared up.
Okay.
So what does that say?
I'm just not wanting to. I've got parent-teacher conferences tomorrow. I have to sit in front of parents all day, and I have packed my face full, and I did have to take prednisone this morning, which I know is not something that I can take.
Are you on a speakerphone?
Let me. I turned it off. Sorry.
Yeah, the speakerphone just muffles you. I'm sorry.
Okay. So, can I take the prednisone for a week just to get things to calm down?
Take the what for a week?
Prednisone.
Prednisone. That's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's up to you. If it works for you, that's fine. You know, that's a prescription drug as far as I know, and I have nothing to say about that. That's between you and your doctor.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it does help me when this appears, and for some reason it does on my face. Because I think I either got exposed by my phone, and I still have a lot of issues on my face. So I'm still
right. Well,
working through
I know from experience very early exposures. If you're caught earlier, double descending dose of prednisone is very effective in a very early stage, but later on, you know. So, but again, it's prescription medication.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, I only take it for 7 days, and when the MaxOne gets here, I will, ease off of it. I'm hoping the MaxOne will replace some of these medications that I thought I had to take.
Well, you can also use creams and lotions instead of prednisone.
Okay. That's all that I was prescribed this summer. I couldn't get a lot of help.
Right, because the doctor doesn't know. I mean, there's
plenty... the Super MSM gel is a very good thing that you might look into because what happens is that these organisms have a way of diminishing organic sulfur. Every cell in your body has organic sulfur in it, so you are deficient in organic sulfur, and you can apply this gel to your skin. It's got diatomaceous earth in it, and it's super gel. I mean, it's a super gel.
Okay.
And we also...
I'm glad I ordered it.
We also have MSM capsules in the store because not only is your skin depleted, but your body in general gets depleted of organic sulfur, and they are also in the store. Thank you.
I'll look into that.
Okay, keep coming back. Keep sending the questions. I'm here to answer them and help support you in getting your life back.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Okay. Bye-bye. Who's next?
Nick.
Hey, Nick. Hi, Nick. How you doing?
I got to say I feel a lot better. I had to go back on stage 1 of the diet, but the diet works. And, from from 2 years ago up to now. I mean, I could say I guess it's been a couple of years since I don't remember, but if I didn't do this diet and take the supplements, I wouldn't be here right now. And if I didn't get, at that time I was a mess. A year ago or 2 years ago, whatever, I was a total mess. If I, with Richard, Robin, and Chris, if I didn't get it, I needed that. Excuse my language. I needed that kick in the ass to do the diet. I took my fear and used it as a positive, meaning I used my fear as a positive. I didn't go afraid of it. I hit it head on, and I did the diet like I would start out with fried eggs, onions, garlic, and put some lard in there, butter, whatever, salt with no sugar in it. That's what I did. I stood on it, and I didn't cheat. I didn't cheat. And the success is where it's written,
Great, thank you. And the results are wonderful. That's fantastic. Thank you, Nick. Nick is one of our coaches, and we'll give you his number out later if anyone would like to speak with him for some moral support and understanding the diet and having him help you make the diet work. Thank you, Nick. Who's next?
I am a bit at my wit's end because this is very new that it's all really, really, really terrible happened to me. And I purchased the static sprayer. I purchased everything that I could from you in the last week. And I actually just have things on my skin on a constant basis right now.
So what is your progress with the diet? What's happening?
Yeah, see, that's the whole thing. This is my first time with the call. I literally just found your site this past week.
Okay, so you're very new.
This is so new. Literally, yeah, I'm ready to start the diet immediately.
Okay.
I'm brand new at this.
Okay, great. Well, you've come to the right place.
I have faith 100% that the diet will hopefully, I'm at my last house on the block.
Great. So, and in the meantime, you've purchased the electrostatic sprayer and some other things from us?
Many things, yes. I purchased a laundry stuff is something enzyme, and now I got mouthwash, I got a book, I have a bunch of different things.
Right, so you have your full arsenal. So, and now the important thing is to make that diet work. And we're here to support you in doing that. And when you listen to this, I've talked about some things that you can help to do to make the diet work. So you're at the right place. And the important thing is to come back every Sunday that you can and let us infuse you with some inspiration. You heard the lady talk earlier about how the diet has worked for her. It can work that way, in my estimation, for everybody. I don't understand why this diet can't work for anyone. And as she shared the first time around, well, she goofed off, in so many words. She had a tic-tac. You wouldn't think of having a tic-tac or something as minor as that as being something that really can screw things up, but it does in the beginning. This diet is not for the faint of heart. This diet is strict.
I'm not faint of heart either, and I 100% need it. I have another question.
Yes.
Why does everything feel so magnetic?
What?
Why does things feel magnetized to me?
Why does everything feel magnetized to you?
Yes.
I don't know. I've never heard anyone share that they felt that things felt magnetized. That's something that has never come across. I don't know. All I know is that once you start making a diet work, people write me and say, well, I got this problem, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Make the diet work and then see what happens, Back in 1995, I didn't know if this diet would work when I discovered it. I don't know. I just knew I had a bunch of symptoms. They were skin related. I knew the doctor. After 10 doctors were getting nowhere, and different medications and sulfur drugs and cortisone shots and all this stuff that I went through, and biopsies and tests that came up negative. I didn't know. So somebody said, hey, maybe a diet will work. And I thought, well, what the hell? I've tried everything else, and hey, it worked. And here I am, and thousands of people have been in this program, and hundreds. You know, I'm sorry that thousands haven't gotten their lives back, but most of them, like the lady earlier shared, you know, the first time she did the diet, she wasn't really strict with it, and she gave up. And then, lucky for her, she found it again. And the second time around, she took what I said to heart.
Is it normal though, and is it like okay for the stuff to be like streaming, kind of like for you to like see it constantly coming out of your skin?
You are a walking, talking, breathing parasite machine until you make the diet work. The stuff will keep coming out of your skin, keep shedding in your environment, keep shedding in your automobile, keep shedding in your home, and your bathtub and everywhere else until you make the diet work. That somehow puts them to sleep, somehow puts them into a trance. I can't make any claims about it's not a cure, and as Nick shared earlier, he messed up and had a reinfection, but got back on the diet, and that was 1 week. 1 week, and he's back on track again.
So it took him 1 week. All right, I'm ecstatic because I can't.
Now, I can't promise you that 1 week will make the difference. Robin will share it took her 3 months to make the diet work. Right, Robin?
Right. Hopefully I have better odds.
Also, I just want to say one thing, that Morgellons is not the cause of everything. People just want to assume every symptom they have is caused by Morgellons, every strange, and it isn't. So if you are feeling magnetic, it may have nothing to do with Morgellons at all. I would not assume that.
I 2% though that I have Morgellons. I know from
the only symptom that is indicative and totally belongs to Morgellons is the creation or finding of filaments and fibers growing from your skin. They can be microscopic in size, in which case you may not see them, but on the other hand, you will see them accumulating in your bedding and your clothing like cotton-like balls that have no reasonable explanation to be there. So that is the only thing.
It could look like fuzz.
Right.
Like strands.
Now with Morgellons comes along many cofactors. People say, well, Morgellons is a fungal issue. Bullshit. It is not fungal. Because, but 90% of us do have fungal issues. All right? People get pigeonholed and say Morgellons is Lyme disease. It is not a spirochete. But hold on, 90% of us do have spirochetes and Lyme disease. All right. Well, then we have Strongyloides cervicalis. One guy back in 2006, Morgellons disease doesn't exist. Everybody's got Strongyloides cervicalis. Well, maybe 30%, 20 or 30% of us do. Everybody gets pigeonholed. One lady says Morgellons is a concrete-eating organism.
I had a spider 3 years ago, and I had complete sepsis. So, I mean, who knows if something could have happened with that.
There are many factors that are involved. And some people say, well, it's rosebush disease. What is that, spirotosis, I think? I don't the pronunciation. Well, yes, some people do have that. And Morgellons just is what makes any disease that you have hell. It's the perfect storm.
I also suffer from bipolar, and I saw that you had that in one of your videos.
What is that?
I also suffer from bipolar disease.
Bipolar? Well, the mental issues, paranoia, bipolar, the conspiracy stuff that comes along with mental things is a phenomenon that does come along oftentimes with Morgellons. In fact, Dr. Bransfield, which is one of the people on the Morgellons Foundation, he lives a few miles from me. In fact, he was my early doctor back in 2006, going through the antibiotic treatment. But his basic focus is on the complications, the mental complications of Morgellons, such as bipolar and such as paranoia, because oftentimes when you have long-term suffering with Morgellons, it does infect your thinking. I don't know, you want to call it infect, maybe affect, so.
Either or, right?
Either or. So it comes along with the territory, and believe me, if you're adding and you're subject to aluminum and fluoride and stuff like that, well, you're on your way to early dementia as well.
I feel like I already have it.
Well, that's called brain fog, and that was the subject of one of my past, because with it comes along brain fog, and that's oftentimes the early onset of dementia, because you don't deal with it, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. One of the things I can promise you, that everybody who's gone through this program, and there have been hundreds of them, and have gotten their lives back, have told me they are healthier after the program than they were when the program started. In other words, before the program started, they were doing all the bad things, all the bad diet, sugar diet, fast food diet. They weren't taking any supplements. They were aging faster than they should have. And going through this program, it's a life change program as well.
I have one last question. I take as supplements right now. I'm taking what is it? Oil of oregano and turmeric. Is that okay?
Turmeric and oil of oregano should be fine. You might want to check the ingredients on the turmeric and make sure there's nothing added to whatever you're taking. Turmeric is a good antioxidant. What I would suggest as an antioxidant is our Dutch cocoa. Nothing wrong with turmeric, but do you like cocoa? Do you like?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Here, listen. Put up your listening ears. Two things that are important. Number one, with my diet, there are no probiotics. Probiotics that you get commercially or yogurt or anything, going to feed the organisms. All right, so no probiotics. Prebiotics are the answer. Raw onions, leeks. Cocoa happens to be one of the most phenomenal prebiotics in existence. Cocoa. Amazing? Okay. Now, number two, I talked about the value of detoxification. Well, let's talk about the value of free radical protection. Okay, Morgellons is surmised by people like Dr. Hellegard as being a mutation that changes your DNA. To change your DNA means it has to experience free radical damage. So glutathione is one of the most powerful antioxidants, but there's one even more powerful. Cocoa. So just make sure that whatever cocoa you get has no, we had a lady on a few weeks ago. What?
Do you sell it?
Yeah, we do. We have Dutch cocoa in our store. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. But if you get it elsewhere, just make sure you read the ingredients, because we had a lady on a few weeks ago who thought she was getting cocoa, but she was getting everything else along with it.
Well,
I think even soy.
You're safe.
So, okay. Thank you. Welcome to the program. Keep coming back. You stick with it, and I hope to have you be one of our coaches soon if you have the propensity to share.
I I would like to do it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone else have a question?
Could you please share with me what products I can use inside my home? Carpets, walls, etc. What's the best, easy, safest fogger to use?
Holy crap, that's about 2 hours. Oh, that's not a simple question. Well, first of all, she asked about foggers. No foggers. You know, if foggers work, I would have them in the store and I would make them available to you. They don't work. The electrostatic sprayer is far superior to any fogger. All right. And you can't use cedar side in the electrostatic sprayer. It would clog it up. So forget that. Now, as far as rugs, there was an update I just put out a few weeks ago. It was titled Kicking the Bugs in the Ass and Morgellons Out of Your Carpet. No, it just said kicking the bugs and Morgellons out of your carpet. Okay, so steam cleaning, forget it. To use steam, you've got to hold the steamer over the spot for about 5 minutes, you know, and the spot is not going to be more than the width of the steamer and the width and the length of it. So it's going to take forever, and by the time the bugs start getting hot, they're going to move to a cooler place. So forget steam cleaning. Vacuuming, you know, unless you're using a HEPA filter, you're wasting your time, and I don't think the vacuum is really a good deal unless you got, you know, a dirty environment and the carpet is constantly exposed to dirt and stuff like that. And one of the things that are beneficial is using the diatomaceous earth or boric acid if you want, and vacuuming is just going to be constantly removing it, so I don't recommend that. And you got to realize that carpet is just not one thing. You've got a composition of it. You have long or short weaves. Then you've got the weave that holds it all together. It's called the pile. And then you've got the padding, and they can be of various thicknesses. And then, you know, so the organisms how deep they are. Well, if it's an old carpet, what do you want to do, Robin? You want to keep an old carpet if it's been there for 10, 15 years, and by the time you start ripping it up, you find about a quarter inch of dirt under the, you know, you don't want to keep it. You want to get rid of it. So if it's relatively new carpet, you just put it in not too long ago, well, then it may be worth salvaging. So, you know, bottom line is if you're doing anything, use a shampooer. And you can shampoo with a disinfectant like Mediclean or that we have in the store, or you can use Enzymes. And if you know, going back to Chris's explanation earlier, you won't only want to use them by themselves in warm water, you know, not hot, but warm water to make them active. And then if you're doing the enzymes, you'd want to, after you do the enzymes, then come back with something like Mediclean or something like that. You could put in white vinegar. So you can make up a solution like about maybe 2 capfuls of NG concentrate and a half a cup of white vinegar, 1 part Mediclean and to 8 parts water. So be either or, not all of these. So you would start with 2 capfuls of NG plus maybe a half a cup of white vinegar. Or instead of the white vinegar, 1 part Mediclean to 8 parts water, or some other disinfectant. Add in a couple of 2 to 3 tablespoons of diatomaceous earth and shake it up, or put in some boric acid until it doesn't dissolve instead of the DE. You can add in some lavender oil or some other fragrance for fragrance, and also oils have a good way of dissolving, getting rid of bugs as well. So that's what we would do with carpet. Okay, as far as the walls and things like that, you know, there are different types of organisms. You know, when it comes to mites, according to Britannica, there are over 40,000 different species. We have no idea how many types of mites are infecting us, but some of them are airborne. Contrary to one's belief that bird mites are not airborne, they are little black things and they crawl. They do not fly. But there are many types of mites that are airborne. If you have an airborne mite, then you're going to deal with the walls or the ceilings. And I'd say the only way to do it is with the electrostatic sprayer. I mean, you can use ozone, but ozone is kind of cumbersome because you've got to do the area, you got to leave for about 2.5 hours, and you got to turn it on and do it for 21 days straight, and you got to do hopefully as many rooms as you can, so it's a little cumbersome. Whereas the electrostatic sprayer, you do it for 21 days straight, but it takes you about maybe 10 or 15 minutes to maybe do your whole home, do your whole house instead of 2.5 hours for one area. So, okay.
I just want to say that the bugs or the fleas or the ticks that get on the cat or the dog, one lady was saying that the cat goes outside and come back. The way like I said before, most of these bugs, they get attracted to these cats and dogs when they go out is due to their pheromone, meaning the smell of the dog. So in order before the cat goes out or the dog goes out, you take a little bit of enzyme, rub it in your palm or rub it on your coat if it is a big dog, and you just brush it up and you wipe it very cleanly around the collar, in the face and stuff like that, not making sure you don't spray on the dog's eye. Just if it is what happens is the dog has a smell, the cat has a smell, and because they have the fur, many of the smell or the secretions, they remain in their coats, and that smell is very unique and it is a very good attractive for these pheromone driven insects. So the enzymes will work very well when you pat it down and you wash your dog even with enzymes, so that they don't have that smell when they go out, so they will not attract any bugs.
Okay, that's great. But we're not guaranteeing you that if you let your cats out or your dogs out, by the time they come back, they won't be reinfected. The safe thing is just keep them in. That's the safe thing. But, if you want to try and experiment, okay, that's something worth trying. Thank you, Chris. Mm-hmm. Okay, that concludes this portion of the program.